Picture yourself at a bend in the road in a thick forest, with fog covering the way ahead. This isn't just a hike gone wrong, it's a metaphor for when life takes you by surprise. You missed a big chance at work, or maybe the end of a long-term relationship came out of the blue. Frustration and doubt don't just feel like problems at this point, they're like huge obstacles in your way. However, what if I told you that these huge beings are actually the guardians of a kind of inner strength? Stoicism is a strong way of thinking that we'll talk about in depth in this video. We're not just giving you ways to deal with things, we are also giving you a plan for how to turn your worst mistakes into chances to be calm and strong. Get ready to go on a quest that's more than just staying alive. You will learn 5 strong habits that are necessary for any man to get through the difficult times of the 21st century. It's not just about how to handle life's surprises, it's also about changing the way you think so that you see problems as chances to learn and grow. To make life's problems into chances, to think in a way that works well under pressure, and to live a calm life in a crazy world, this video is for you. Come with us and change how you go through life. Number 1. Negative visualization. Now that you're dead, think of the life you lived up until now as over. What's left is a surprise. Alexander the Great. It's not all bad news when you use negative vision. It's just a way to plan ahead. Think about things that haven't happened yet, like a key team member leaving or a cancellation at the last minute. You won't fall apart when life takes a sudden turn if you do this. You'll just adapt. Knowing that smooth times aren't sure also makes you appreciate them more when they happen. Stoicism tells us that the best way to deal with negative emotions is to recognize the things that could go wrong and try to accept them. This practice isn't about getting ready for bad things to happen. It's about being ready for the unexpected in life. Number 2, pay attention to the present moment. Everyday life is busy, and it's easy to get caught up in the next big thing, like planning for retirement, working toward a senior position, or taking care of your family. When there are so many things to do, Stoicism shows us how important it is to be in the present. It's harder than ever to stay in the present, but it's more important than ever. When we're stuck on something we can't change or worried about the future, we often feel frustrated. When you stay in the present, you take charge of your time and stop wasting it on regrets or fears about the future. Focusing on what you can do right now while living in the present can also help you deal with anger. It gets rid of the mess in life and makes things clear and peaceful. Maybe you can't change everything, but you can change where your mind goes. Putting your full attention on the present time makes a lot of worries and anger go away. Number 3, pay attention to what you can control. Pay attention to what you can change. Remember that the things that happen in our lives don't hurt us. How we feel about them does. Marcus Aurelius, getting through the complicated world of today means juggling work obligations, family duties, and one's own health and happiness. This part talks about the Stoic practice of focusing on what we can control, which can make a big difference in how we handle these parts of life. Imagine that you're having a tough time at work. Maybe a project has gone wrong, or you're having a bad time with a coworker. What part of this situation can I change? Should be your question instead of feeling angry. Look at that. It's like going through a toolbox and choosing the right one for the job. Like how you can't fix a leak with a hammer, you can't change how someone acts. But you can change how you react, how you approach things, and how you think. One easy way to use this Stoic advice in your daily life is to start your day with 5 minutes of reflection. Ask, what might challenge my patience today, and how will I choose to respond? Write down your thoughts and feelings in a book to keep track of them. You may be shocked at how much you've changed over time. I'd like to tell you a story. I had to pay a lot of money and deal with an unexpected big home repair not long ago. At first, I felt too much. I stopped for a moment and asked myself, what can I really control here? This new point of view didn't fix the broken pipe, but it did help me deal with it more gently and effectively. Imagine living in a world where this Stoic rule was followed by everyone. Imagine not getting so angry about things like traffic jams or long lines at the store. Starting with how we act, we can make the world more peaceful and less stressed. Pay attention to your control circle. Not only will that make your life better, but it will also make the lives of those around you better. Number 4, using Stoic wisdom to reframe desires. Reframing desires with Stoic wisdom, it can be life-changing to understand how desire and anger work together. Stoicism helps us understand the difference between two types of desires, those that are necessary and those that are not. Our basic needs, like food, housing, and health, are our most important wants. But excessive wants include things like wanting fame or money all the time. These are often what make people unhappy and frustrated. Finding more is something that a lot of people do, especially people in our generation. This could be money, fame, or material things. But this desire often has the opposite effect of what we want. The more we chase, the less grateful we are. This is what excessive wants are all about. They're like chasing a horizon that you can see but can't reach. Stoicism does not say that we should get rid of all our wants. That would not be helpful or useful. Instead, it suggests that you handle them with awareness. When unfulfilled wants cause irritation, it's important to think about how much these wants are really worth. By changing the way we want things, we can make ourselves much less frustrated. When our goals are based on real things and not just what we think we can do, we naturally experience less disappointment, which leads to less anger. This calm way of dealing with wants is like resetting your mind. It helps you focus on your goals more clearly and makes you happier with your life in general. By making the process of setting goals easier, you directly lower the chance of getting frustrated. First, look at your wants and make them more specific. This process will not only clear out your life's goals, but it will also lead you to a more meaningful and satisfying life, free from the never-ending pursuit of fleeting and unfulfilling wants. Number 5, accepting life's challenges as part of your fate. In this insightful segment, we'll look at a key idea that has a lot to do with Stoic thought. Accepting that bad things will happen in life isn't the same as welcoming your fate, which is also called amor fati. Really love and accept them from the core of your being. It shows us that every event, no matter how bad or good it seems at first, is actually a hidden gem of a chance. Say you were fired from your job. Do not give up hope. Instead, see this as a great chance to change your career path or learn a skill you've always been interested in. Finally, the end of a relationship can be painful, but it could also be life's way of guiding you to something better. Realizing that you don't have to hold back your feelings does not mean accepting your fate. Being human means that we all feel sad, angry, or let down sometimes. Stoic philosophy tells us to recognize these feelings, but then it pushes us to do something useful with them. When something goes wrong, ask yourself, how can this be a step toward personal growth? It has to do with turning something that is usually seen as bad into something good. Having the mindset of amor fati is freeing. It gets you out of a loop of anger and blame, which can be very hard on your emotions. To get a more powerful and positive view of life, you need to change your attitude from "why is this happening to me" to "what can this teach me?" The power to change things is what makes accepting your fate so beautiful. It turns the problems you face in life into lessons and chances to get better. When you hit a problem, don't just put up with it, make friends with it. This is not about ignoring the problems that come up in life. It's more about finding the good in every bad thing. It's about finding joy in the problems, not just in how they are solved. When life throws you a curveball, don't just stand there, catch it and throw it back with interest. When you embrace your destiny, you're not just letting it happen, you're actively working with it to learn from it and grow. This way of thinking doesn't just get through life, it makes it interesting and important. You can't wait for the storm to pass, you have to learn how to dance in the middle of it. Accepting your fate is not just a Stoic practice, it's also a life skill that can teach you a lot. This way of thinking tells us to see life's problems, not as problems, but as opportunities to learn more about ourselves and grow. When you adopt this way of thinking, you start to see the ups and downs of life with interest and joy instead of fear or hopelessness. Every event, good or bad, should be turned into a useful lesson for life. Remember that the things that happen to us don't shape us, how we respond to them does. As we come to the end of our look at Stoic ways to deal with anger, Keep in mind that these are not just ideas. They are also tools that you can use in real life. Whether you choose one or a mix of several, use them in the way that works best for you. It's important to start. Accept these lessons not just as facts, but also as wisdom that will help you get through life's challenges. If this segment resonates with you, if it ignites a spark of recognition or inspiration, share your experience, engage with our community, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment.